Hi, I'm Seamless, and this is the second part of today's track from scratch stream, because it's Wednesday. I have figured out where the fruity balance is. There's a lot of weirdness about my particular install path that caused some of the older plugins to not really work out so well, but they actually do work now. I just have to actually, these plugins that have this sort of generic looking kind of thing, they were not changed from FL11 or even any of the previous FLs. The only reason why they look different is because what we're looking at is not actually the plugin's interface. This is what a plugin looks like when it has no interface. This is what a plugin looks like when it is only labeled parameters with knobs. And like if you ever looked at any of the MDA plugins, they have this as well, because this is just what a plugin looks like when it has no interface. And so this new looking interface is just the FL12 version of that non-interface interface. And that's why none of them have previews, because they don't have interfaces. So that's why all of that was happening. Now let's do the thing I want to do with this bass. Did it just get quieter? Oh yeah, because I have the chords on it. Cool. I guess I want to do thirds. Copy value, paste value. Let's just do straight that and see how that works out. Interesting is how that works out. Fascinating. I could be, that's not what I wanted. There's more curve types, but I just wanted the double curb. It sounds like what dogs and cats sound like when they're doing that. Someone in the chat says, Seamless is a New Englander, also known as a Yankee. Red Sox for life. I'm from Massachusetts. It's not quite the same. I'm from the north, where the White Walkers are. It's true. I like my frozen north. I like this, but I kind of want to engage a little bit sooner than that. Okay, wrong button. It's not gonna let me do that, is it? Just do that, and then yeah. Face fire. Who is Red Sock? I like the idea, but my implementation needs work. I suppose if I wanted to get real clever, I could do like that. Oh, whoops. What if I did fours? Because right now I'm doing. This might actually sound bad, like straight up awful. I mean, I suppose the other one was fine. It just doesn't. It's like that's too fast. That was. I mean, this whole thing. Present is. Yeah. This needs to end with the volume being up. Yeah, okay, go in the thirds. Experiments are fun, but functionality is important. I think also what I'll do is I'll cut out like the hat business that's up here. when this happens. Does Seamless play live? Someone asks in chat asks. Someone asks. The answer to your question is no. Not this stuff anyway. Seamless does not play live. I play live in my band, but that's different. I do kind of want to, though, and that's actually kind of a big point about this project. Some of you who are around from the beginning might remember that I actually said that I wanted to make this project specifically so that I can perform it with my crazy MIDI bass, which is actually back there in the rack. But that might be a thing I do. And actually, soon, around when I actually finish making the actual whole drop, I'm gonna try and actually play it. Try and arrange it in such a way that I can play it and see what that's like. Yeah. People talk about new versions of FL. You know, it's funny when it's funny. I don't actually know if it's funny, but I just like saying it's funny. When FL 10, 9, I forget when they added pattern clips, but because if any of you older school FL users remember, they had these things called pattern blocks, which are just gone now. But pattern blocks used to be how you did stuff in FL. And that's a big reason why this thing was called a playlist, because instead of having tracks here, each individual thing was actually just a pattern. And then you put a pattern block in for what that one pattern was, and that's how you arranged everything. And when there's pattern blocks and then these pattern clips. And technically, like, I knew when they first introduced pattern clips that pattern clips were better, but I still wanted to use note blocks. And I actually just do not remember when I transitioned into using pattern clips, because I suddenly, like, I just remember one day just being like, wait a minute, I thought I hated these. Wait a minute, what happened to pattern blocks? I just kind of forgot, and I was already used to using pattern clips. And, like, now I cannot even imagine making songs with pattern blocks, with the actual block format, the way that they used to happen. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing now with, like, the add menus and that kind of thing, because the only reason why this add menu exists and that add button exists and this add button exists is because people have had a big pushback against removing the old architecture in favor of this newer architecture. Even though I know that this newer architecture and even the way the plugin database works is actually full on better. Not necessarily the this organization stuff, because you don't need to have this. You can actually get rid of all these folders and just have the big, what they refer to as the flat database with just the alphabetical list of plugins. And I might eventually do that because I'm used to that. But, like, I know that this is better. But now that they're kind of forcing us to get used to it, you get this, like, no, I don't want to do things my way. But then, you know, after a while, you're like, wait, this is actually way better. Like, you're used to it now. And now you can't imagine doing anything the old way. It's just weird how that works. Somebody linked the video in chat and said, is this Seamless? And I'm assuming, nope, that's not me. That's not. It's a Krakatoa thing. If you want to find the right Krakatoa on YouTube, it's, the YouTube account is called Krakatoa Metal Band, but I don't know if that's actually going to find it. Taking time out of my stream to try and find my metal band. No results. Okay. It would help if I spell it right. Krakatoa. There we go. Yep. Krakatoa Metal Band, all one word. That's my band's account on YouTube. Prepare for some seriously crappy looking and sounding things, just so you're aware. There you go. Yep. There's actually a bunch of Krakatoas. That's what you get for naming something after a place. A famous place. Like Beirut. Whoops. This thing happened. Just for safety, I might as well put this here. There we go. The fuck? Why did I get rid of that? Oh shit, because it's from the other pattern. again. Wait, that was one of these guys, wasn't it? One of these dudes. That just sounds so weird. That's a sharp thing going down. This is a square one, right? I'm gonna have a field day trying to get this to work on the bass, and the reason about that is because not a lot about like Harmer isn't a problem because Harmer has a legato mode that actually interacts properly with moving around the bass, but this is using Citrus, and as far as I'm aware, this does not have anything like that, and the only recourse I have for that is to try and use the that business in here, the porta and the mono, and try to turn down the legato. And that should work, but for some reason it didn't. But I don't think I actually tried this for FL12, and maybe it does now, but we'll find out. Spit on my mic. Alright, you know what? I'm going to call this like content complete. Oh, actually, no, I did want to do one thing. A lot about my sound design has, for a very long time, been about copying other people's work. And if you kind of remember my older stuff, it was more about exploring stuff like what Harmer could do. Like Resolve had a lot of sound design in it that was very unique and only possible with something like Harmer, which made it unique just about everything because at the time nobody used Harmer at all. And then I sort of spent a lot of my time trying to get really good at doing what other people have already done. And I kind of forgot what it's like to do particularly like things that like only, not necessarily only I can do, because obviously I teach everyone how to do it, but just stuff that's not normal. And I kind of wanted to bring back a particular sound from them days and see how it interacted with actually I have the patch still. It's from up here. Where are you at? Empire. Then there was one up here where I was trying to do it like these guys. Yeah, like this guy. Still think I'm actually gonna play this guitar? Yes, actually, I think I am, because I paid attention to some stuff, like to things. I'm not worried about the fast patch switching. I have an entire method of dealing with that, like, because I'm not just playing it with the bass, I'm also playing it with this thing. Whoa, it is covered in bullshit. Yeah, so like this is what I'm gonna be playing it with, and these things are gonna be how I control the expression, and these things are gonna be how I pick which thing I'm playing, and it's just about as fast as regularly is. That's what I do for Krakatoa. So like I'm already very used to how that works, and that kind of thing. And I also made sure that like a lot of the sounds that have modulations only have one modulation source happening, and stuff like this really fast stuff. What I can actually do is that this whole thing is going to be set up as a performance mode project, and this can be set up as a triggered on one of the cells, and I just hit one of the buttons, and that'll trigger that automation. So I'm not going to be like with my feet or anything. I'm going to be doing it with an automated source, that kind of thing. Basically like triggering an LFO. like delay speeds on instruments, on like delay units or something like that. Now the way these sounds used to work is that they would start high and go low, and then in the midst of doing that, it would get really interesting. Not this one though. Let's try. Wow. I don't remember what the fuck that was, but okay. Oh, because I did a patch. I'm an idiot. I don't know what you are. Go away. I'm looking at the older presets because I don't really honestly remember how to do this. That might have been it. XY test. Oh, yeah. That was a weird thing I tried doing. It didn't work out very well. That's one of the... That can't be this. Did I do that with back then? Actually, does kind of sound right. Not into the chorusing, though. There it is. Yeah. What the hell is happening in chat right now? I don't even know. The question becomes, where the hell do I put this? I'm going to save my project. This is apparently called XY test now. Stick you in the sidechain channel. Stick you only in the sidechain channel. God damn it. I put you in a sub channel for no reason. That's what I did just then. There it is. All right. Part of the toms sounding weird and smeary might actually be because they're also in the overheads. What the hell note is that? F sharp? That can't be F sharp. What the hell key am I in? So I was just full on playing the wrong note with the sub there. The way that sounds like this worked is that the longer they were on, the weirder they got. That's why pitch modulation was kind of important, like this, because they would kind of impart their weirdness at the time. Also, not like the right note. Wow, proper. Where's the other dude at? E, D. Really hope I hit make unique. I did, yay. So initially this actually was very short, but then I made it longer, and I think I want to make it even longer. That's why this wasn't 2 notes the first time. Double right click, by the way, gets you the ghost notes. If you didn't know that. People were asking me about that before. Alright, so now let's try and fix this lead. Let's try to do that. Instead of using vibrato, I'm going to do something weird. Welcome to harmonic vibrato. Yeah, bit much on the reverb. Doesn't work. God damn it. FL keys lead. Oh no. Never. I refuse. These toms are just absolutely failing at their job. Honestly, it's because the drum bus compression is kind of ruining them. But if I were to do that, put them in a master, doesn't really help. I mean, if I want to get like super hardcore, I could sidechain stuff to the toms, but that's just a losing game. So that first one is not very. listen at a full volume for a second. I may or may not keep that. I was attempting to harmonize it, and I was just going to do thirds, but I forgot that I did a weird progression that doesn't really stick to a key, and that meant that that wasn't going to work out very well. So I kind of selectively did some thirds, and some not thirds, and some octaves, and part of that hurt, and part of it didn't hurt, and some of it might be okay. So I'm gonna hope that yeah. So there's some more melodic stuff I want to do. Like I want to actually put in some chords. So let's do some chords. Do some chords. Okay, so I have to have like a plan here whenever I add some stuff. So like I want to add to this channel, take this, not that, this, grab it there. Okay, there it is. Congratulations. Make some chords. Before I even make the tone, let's find out what my actual progression is gonna be. I'm gonna just take this because it's more or less what's up. It's the new guy, right? Piano root. Alt L, Control G. Slayer. This is gonna involve weird 7 chords, I can already tell. Let's just stick to normal triads for the moment to see if I can make that work, although I don't think I can. Did I already do F wrong? Jesus. That's already wrong, but I gotta get this out first. See, I already know it's not gonna work. It's too it's not right. Boop, boop. I could try like. That kind of works. So yeah, one of these days, I'm gonna try to actually make these notes relate to each other. I feel like if I just slap that on there, it would sound like the worst. Obviously, because it's saw waves, but my plan is to kind of like do stabby kind of chords. It's like that kind of thing. Basically, what the bass was already doing, but just sort of following that. And then probably ARP it too. I wonder what this sounds like as an ARP. Sounds like I'm writing elevator music. That's what it sounds like. Some of these notes might be too close to each other. In fact, yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. Super inversions. Alright, so distortion is obviously not going to work on this. Which doesn't really sound that bad, just as being always, but still. Dim 7's ruining my distortion. Just for fun, let's see what this sounds like if I just put just that in there. Well, it's almost not audible because it's not loud enough, but... Okay. That's just about as weird as I thought it would. Apparently at the end of the part, but I'm not done yet. Making progress. I'm a little bit more into what's happening here than what was happening in the past, so I'm kind of okay with this. I'm not like I'm not gonna leave it like that because, but it is giving me ideas, and I can see some possible solutions. So I just have to experiment and then do it, and then it'll be good. So let's listen to what I got so far, and then that'll be the end of today's part. Redline the chords. Redline was an awesome anime. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions about this, let me know. As usual, have a nice day. Did I fucking do that right? Whatever. You know what I'm about to say. Do it.